Now, as a multi-tool collector that loves SOG tools, whether old or new, I've got some really bad news about SOG. We need to talk about this. Let's get started. Now, it's been a while since SOG put out tools like the Paratool and also the Paladin line of tools. They have switched to tools like the Power Lock and the Power Access, the Power Access Deluxe, the Power Access Assist. They have the PowerPint, all kinds of newer, a bit newer, more modern tools. The Power Lock is still one of their older tool designs. But it's, again, been a while since you have had SOG tools made in the USA. But just recently, I learned that SOG was bought out yet again. This will be the third time. So they were bought out several years ago by GSM Outdoors. And then just, I guess, this past month, there was an article talking about how they were bought out by Capital Investments. Now, with Capital Investments taking over GSM Outdoors, they claim that Eddie Castro still continues to lead the company. Now, this is my concern with this takeover. Even though they claim that they are investing in the growth of GSM and there's all this new money, there's all these new resources. In the past 28 years, the news article talks about how they have taken over 450 companies. A lot of times it's sort of slash, cut, and burn. You make a little money with the company. As soon as it starts going down the tubes, you sell it off and you run away. Maybe the company folds. Is that what they plan to do with SOG? I don't know. There is a lot up in the air right now. I don't know if SOG will just be sold off, if it will eventually just become only available off of AliExpress. Who knows what will happen, but it looks a little bit alarming for the future of SOG at the moment. Now, I want to say huge thanks to MultiToolWorld, the Facebook group, for making me aware of this information. They are a great place to get news, to get updates on multi-tools, and also there are fantastic collections on there as well. So I would really recommend joining the group. I probably check them out once a day or so. I try to scroll through, see what's going on, what's new, what people have posted. A great place to hang out with and chat with other people who love multi-tools as well. So I found this information. I didn't find it. MultiToolWorld, actually, someone contacted me and told me about the company being bought out. So big thanks to them for that. Now, the second thing that I'm hearing about this buyout, and that is rather negative for SOG, is that customer support has changed. That's now in the Philippines. There's nothing wrong with that, except, again, it moves further and further away from the base of operations. The further you are away, sometimes there's mix-up. And what I'm hearing is that through all these layers of management, all the new mix-up of the company, is some people are ordering their tools from SOG and they're not getting them. Now, I haven't ordered any new SOGs recently, so I don't know personally, but that's what I'm hearing. So I would caution you, if you're wanting to buy a SOG multi-tool, you might want to buy off of Amazon, Blade HQ, AliExpress, wherever, but you might not want to buy off of SOG's website for a month or two until the dust settles and they get everything figured out. So that is something you might want to consider just for the upcoming month or so. Now, the next thing to consider about SOG is that now they are dependent on China, from what I'm hearing, for tools like the SOG Power Leader and also the PowerPint and some of the Access versions. Now, the SOG Power Lock and to some extent maybe the Power Access Assist, there is still a Taiwan company that I guess makes these. Some people think these are a little bit better made, but some of these smaller tools and some of the Power Access and so forth are made overseas. And it sounds like SOG is sort of in a bind because what I'm hearing is that maybe the contract was with the original SOG company, and now since it's been bought out, essentially some of these companies over in China that are making these are free to sell them wherever. Perhaps that's why we see them on AliExpress and so forth. I don't know all the details. Perhaps that's why. Again, that's what I'm hearing. But if so, again, that is more bad news for SOG. What does that mean for them going forward? Do you like videos like this? If so, why don't you like and subscribe? It really helps. Thanks. Now, not too long ago, I talked about the Switchplier, and even though I love this quirky design, to some extent, it is not a great multi-tool for anything like medium to hard use. It is only for very light use. The pliers just feel like they'll break, and apparently they have, because SOG, from what I'm hearing again, discontinued these because they were not that reliable. Unfortunately, one of the first things we see from this new company is to offer this tool again. So this new company comes in, and instead of reinventing, helping SOG develop new tools, they just say, hey, why don't you essentially offer this tool that broke before, and why don't you sell that again? I don't think that's a wise decision always to do something like that. These people should have been invested enough to know, to listen to the people in the factory, those that realize what was going on with SOG. So it does definitely seem to be tone deaf. If someone, as someone mentioned, it doesn't seem to be a good idea. We'll see what happens in the future. I keep hearing that there will be no new SOG multi-tools. Does this mean, since the new company bought this out, that maybe they will invest more money? I don't know. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing at the moment, but what we're seeing right now, it does seem to be rather negative. Is there any bright news on the horizon for SOG? I don't know, but I do know that they have some of the best tools in the medium in this very small pocketable segment, just above the keychain segment, and that still continues. So the SOG Power Pint, the Power Leader, some of these tools right here are really, really great, and they continue to be great. So that's something that is really good, as well as with this Flash MT. These are really good small tools, small pocketable, light EDC multi-tools, and that doesn't change. They're still, I think, made pretty much in the same place, no matter who sells them. If anything, they've gotten a little cheaper. That may not necessarily be a bad thing. So that's one of the things that still is bright for SOG. They still have a great design. Even if it's never improved, it's still one of the best on the market at this time, really, which is a little crazy. Now, the second bit of good news is that SOG, as far as I know, the last time I looked, still sells tools for the SOG Power Lock and a couple other tools so that you can replace them if they break. You don't have to buy a whole new tool. You can just buy the replaceable tool. Now, it's not that hard to just take apart these pivots, put the new tool back in, and you're on the road to go again. I will leave links where you can get these replaceable tools. I think that is something that it's really forgotten that SOG has this system. Now, Gerber and perhaps Leatherman used to, but I know Gerber used to have replaceable parts, but SOG continues to, the last time I looked. This is something I think a lot of people don't realize, and SOG does need to be commended for still making these parts so that in essence, you do have a little bit of modularity in these tools. So is it over for SOG? I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see, but it does seem like we keep getting worse and worse news from the company. But I'm hoping that maybe in a year or so, things will turn around. Maybe we'll see some new development. But for now, you'll need to hang tight. Again, you might not want to order from the SOG company website for a little bit until things get straightened out. Hopefully, though, in the next coming months, things will get back to normal. Maybe in the next coming years, we'll see something new from SOG, but I won't hold my breath. Who knows?